Hey, what's up, guys? Sam here. I'll be doing the free video for April 22nd, 2022. So I just wrapped up the premium video for the folks in the gold room, and we looked at every index. We looked at the volatility products like VIX or VIXN. We looked at it. We did a quick look at each sector. We looked at bonds. We pretty much looked at all the important things, and all of it looks pretty bad. All of it looks pretty bad. So I want to start by showing you what we wrote here in the store, the this week's in the markets report. This came out on Sunday, and I don't know what YouTube's policy is on four-letter words, so I'm going to just highlight the first two sentences, and you can read the first one in your head, and I'll read the second one. And the problem is it could get much worse, right? So this came out last Sunday before the week started, and here's what we found. The indices as a group all have the same pattern. It was bear momentum positioning and neutral bear price structure and 3-day squeezes ready to fire imminently. So the takeaway, the VIX could go immediately based on the coil and momentum reset and higher series of weekly lows. The VIX, and we'll take a look at it, could easily get back to 30 plus, and if it does, the implication is it will stick this time and likely make a new swing high to 40. This is as dangerous a positioning on vol relative to the indices that the bulls have faced in a long time, so be careful. So let me show you kind of what the setup is here. Now, I want to start actually by showing you the indicator, because over here on the far right, the indicator, every time that it's given a buy signal, let's just use the last couple that we see here. You got a buy signal here, and it gave you this rally. You got another buy signal here, and it gave you that rally. You have a buy signal here, and it gave you this gigantic rally, right? So 3 for 3. Pretty close to calling the lows there on the weekly SPY. So let's zoom in where we are now. You see how it actually started printing a buy signal? But then this is the first example where it's actually canceled itself out. See how it canceled itself out there? That's a problem. That's a problem because it breaks the pattern, right? Trading is all about patterns, and if the last 3 times that the signal hit, it did X, and then this time the signal hits, but then immediately reverses, we have to assume it's going to do Y. So there's that, right? This is a major signal to the downside. Also, if you look at the daily chart, you have significant signals to the downside here as well. So now what do you have? Well, you have a little bit of a ugly kind of looking top formation here, right? I'm not going to try to name that thing. You can call it whatever you want, but it is an ugly topping structure. And if the 420 level gets broken here, which is kind of the pin, if you will, the pivot of the whole thing, then I think we're going to have problems. So I think that goes without saying. In this video, I don't want to necessarily give you stock picks because I don't really, everything looks the same. I think energy gets hit. I think materials get hit. I think industrials get hit. I think banks get hit. I think the consumer gets hit. I think everything gets hit. The only thing that looks somewhat decent was XLP. So I won't review the sectors with you. I just kind of want to set the stage for next week so that you know what you're kind of facing here. So then let me show you this. Most of you are familiar with the VIX, right? It's the volatility. But I want to show it to you with the NASDAQ specific. So this is the NASDAQ volatility, which is leading the market. So here on NASDAQ vol, you can see that you had this big crash back down to the rising 200 simple moving average, right? What did that do? Well, it had a sell signal here, and that sell signal was active all the way through until basically here, right? So you now have, you had this sell signal that's been canceled out and is now a buy signal. That's not great. Both lines here are above 50. Green is above red. That's not good for if you're bullish. And then you have a daily squeeze firing long, and you're trading now above the 50-day moving average. On the weekly chart, you have the same thing, right? So this signal on VIX, the way that I'm looking at it, you have swing highs right here at 40, 39.40, right? And you have this low, and you have this low, right? So I'd be looking for a retest here at the very least. Now, if it gets above 40 on VIXN, it's going to the moon. Probably going to go to 50. which would take the VIX, as we talked about, to 40. So why is this important? Well, if the VIX goes to 40, everything gets sold, right? We looked at utilities, we looked at even the safe stuff like healthcare, and it's all getting sold. So I think that for the next month, the pattern that is at play and that you need to be aware of is the 3-day squeeze. And I'm going to show it to you on the IWM, but it's on everything. And I'm going to show it to you on IWM because I think it's a very attractive thing to short here. I think you can short the IWM, I think you could short the QQQ, or you could short any specific thing inside of those that looks similar. But you see how the 3-day squeeze here now has a downward bias, and your moving averages are falling, and your trend oscillator is red above green, red falling both below 50, and you've the buy signal that came in here, that's the level. You see how it's trading below the level, so that cancels out your buy signal. So you no longer have a buy signal either, right? This is as bearish a pattern as you could possibly see. And that pattern, because it's a 3-day squeeze, will last usually about 20 to 30 days. Which takes us very nicely into the Fed meeting in May, where maybe they can start talking up the market again, because the last thing that the market heard was Powell yesterday saying that they want to raise rates 50 basis points in every meeting, right? Which the market obviously doesn't like. So it's all really set up to drop. I think you can go long vol. I think you can short the IWM. I think you can short the QQQ. I think you can short pretty much any stock you like. The only thing I would stress is a little bit of discipline and try to do it on a bounce. But aside from that, get short. Take it short until May. You might be able to get the opportunity for a nice bounce maybe after Google or Microsoft or Apple or Amazon report. But I think no matter what happens with those reports next week, you sell it because the market is not moving on company earnings reports. The market is moving on the Fed as usual. So that's what's driving trade. All right, guys. Well, that is my time. Thanks as always for stopping by our channel, checking it out. I know there's a lot of really interesting and cute cat and dog videos that you could be watching on YouTube, which is how I spend most of my time. So we do appreciate you stopping in for a little bit. If you could, leave us a like, leave us a dislike. Doesn't matter. Just interact with our page. Ideally, leave us a comment. Tell us we're good. Tell us we suck. Doesn't matter. Just interact with our page so that the algorithm gods will bless our channel. All right, guys. Thanks as always for letting us into your home. Have a great weekend. See you next Friday. Cheers. Hey, guys. This is Sam, and I'm the Director of Equities at Simpler Trading. I want to thank you for watching this video. And before you go somewhere else on the YouTube, I'd like to ask that you comment and like the video. It really does help us out with the algorithm and getting the message out to more folks who like to see our content. Also, be sure to click the bell notification and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss anything that comes out. If you want to watch us trade in real time using our own money, come over to simplertrading.com and learn how to sign up. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you for the next video. Cheers.